Yeah, division doesn't cure anything.
It's not curing it.
We got to be busy building bridges, not blowing them up.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you're agreeing. It means you are actually creating a safe space for them to be honest so you can see what they honestly think.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And welcome to the Dan and Can Show. Thanks for coming back, folks. We appreciate it. Always love to see you guys signing in and listening to us ramble on about life for a while. And we got a life lesson today, something we've kind of been dealing with for the last 15 years.
I'm trying to think, what is it? Are you going to spring it on me?
I'll give you a quick overview of what we're going to do.
Okay.
What the hell do we do now? We had certainty in religion. Mm-hmm. We knew the truth. We got all the answers we needed from pastors and elders and respected gentlemen of the faith. But since we left, we don't have that certainty anymore. We found more truth, more reality. But that reality throws a lot of curveballs that times like now, what do we do? What do we do? There's massive issues going on in our cities, states, country, world, and it seems overwhelming. And we don't have the answers anymore. So We're going to talk about that today. But before we dive into that, why don't you folks get to know Candy and I a little better?
Maybe we're going to get to know each other a little bit better. Remember the peanut butter episode?
I'm trying to forget it.
It's come up a lot
in between. It's caused a lot of issues. And the children.
It has not, but all the kids think it's funny. Yeah.
Children have caught on.
I still don't understand it, but carry on.
Well, this could open up a new one. What canceled snack or food item do you irrationally wish would come back?
Canceled? What do you mean? Like
discontinued or...
I don't think there's any snack that I liked that's not around still.
You don't remember anything?
Well, Now and Laters, they still sell those, right? I used to like those when I was a kid. But I wouldn't eat those today.
Here's one.
What?
That I think just actually may have come back, but the chili cheese burrito from Taco Bell. It was such a simple but yet delicious
I did think
item.
Of one too. Chili cheese. I never had it, so I don't know.
In high school, I went to a private school.
Oh.
Lots of money in this school. State senators' kids were in this school.
You were the poor kid in the school.
I was the poor kid in school.
You were in the group of poor kids.
But
poor
we had
compared to
lunch. So if I remember right, it was $2 at the time back in the early 90s. You got a hot lunch, and they had a different fast food restaurant cater every day of the week.
That's crazy.
So, you might get a Pizza Hut personal pan pizza for $2. Hamburger or cheese.
So were you paying for this, or was it like you had to pay then when you got up to the counter?
You had to pay $2, yeah.
So your parents would send you $2 that day or whatever?
My own cash, yeah. So I'd buy what I wanted.
Kind of like how we pay for lunches still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd get McDonald's, which would be, I think, a quarter pounder.
Okay, were these a lot cheaper than they would have been, like the other lunches?
It was pretty. What
was a typical lunch at that time?
It was either bring in your own lunch or you buy these.
Yeah, but how much were they?
$2.
No, you buy these, but that was just on once a week, right? Or was that every day?
That was every day.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
No wonder you like fast food like you do.
Yeah, I had it every day in high school. Otherwise, I had to go to the vending machine and get cinnamon rolls and a bar of candy.
I married someone who I rarely got any fast food or any restaurant did we go out at all. And you...
I got it every day. But for the Taco Bell, you'd get 2 chili cheese burritos and one of their cinnamon twist things in the bag for $2. And it was pretty simple. It was just this cheap, nasty chili with cheddar cheese sprinkled in, rolled up in a tortilla.
Stuff, probably.
I think the canned stuff would have been a step up. I think this was Alpo.
But you liked it. So you like Alpo dog food chili.
Delicious. And then they discontinued it.
And this is the guy that makes most of our dinners.
Yeah.
You actually make good food, though.
I grew up.
I don't know how when you were eating. I mean, your parents are both excellent chefs, but I just discovered this. I never knew that you had fast food every school day.
Yeah. Well, the one times I would be during Lent because it was a Catholic school, so it was meatless.
Mm-hmm.
And I never followed the rules of Lent, but then there would be like a fish sandwich or maybe.
He doesn't like fish.
I would eat the cheese pizza if that was the option that day. Some days it would be bread and water. You get Rotella's
I would do it. There were saltines.
No, this was Rotella's, all you can eat Rotella's bread.
So you would just eat the bread and then drink water?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to sacrifice, you might as well sacrifice quite a bit.
Yeah,
like that.
I hated them days. So they were bad. So yeah, but anyways, I missed the chili cheese burrito.
I know what I miss of snacks. They used to make, remember TGI Fridays, the restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
They used to make those tato skin chips.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those were so good.
Them were delicious.
I liked those. Yeah. That would be a snack that I would, if I could find it, I would buy it.
They were delicious.
Actually, probably not to be too tempting to eat, but those were really good.
They were. Nice and crunchy.
They were crunchy and kind of thicker.
A lot of flavor on them.
Yeah. Those were good.
So that was delicious. Any other food items that have been discontinued? The McDLT. You got the hot side hot and the cold side cold.
What? I don't even know what this is.
George Costanza did a commercial for it back in the 80s. It was a McDonald's hamburger, and it came in a 2-compartment thing. Okay. So you had your hamburger and your cheese.
So they were on 2 sides and you just smush them together?
Everything was hot on that side, and then all your cold stuff, your lettuce, your tomato, and all that was on the other side.
Okay, did they serve it like in a container with a cover, like it was on long ways?
No, it was one compartment, and then one compartment, then a lid over it.
Yeah, okay. So
you got it, and you got it home, and you went... So you kept your hot side hot. And your cold
I wonder if it tasted better that way.
I doubt it.
I don't know if you can help McDonald's food very much. I mean, come on now.
It's good. It's good for you.
No.
So I'm trying to think if there's any other snacks that I used to love that aren't around anymore.
Any drinks?
Any drinks?
You used to drink Kool-Aid.
Pepsi Clear.
Pepsi Clear? I don't even know.
The shit out of Pepsi Clear.
Really? I don't even know.
Yeah. My dermatologist told me dark sodas were bad for my skin and complex.
So you just continued to drink soda and just went Pepsi Clear?
I think, didn't have the caffeine, and it was a caffeine thing.
Your mom still drinks like caffeine-free Pepsi, doesn't she? She usually has a can of it.
Something like that, yeah.
They always have soda at their house, which is strange, but you probably grew up with it. It was,
that's all we drank as kids with soda.
I mean, we were poor, so yeah. Soda was a huge treat if we were going to get it. We
actually had these things in our refrigerator, plastic jugs that were filled with milk.
We had milk.
Yeah, dried milk.
Sometimes as we got older, we got gallons of milk. Okay. My parents were financially doing better.
Yes. But the good old days, there's probably others I can't think of right now that I miss. That were there, Mm-hmm. Trying to think of. Can't think of anything. Oh, Jell-O pudding pops. I know the spokesperson for that is kind of very controversial, but Jell-O pudding pops are good.
Those were good. I'd like those too.
We had them in grade school because we had hot lunches once a week.
Okay.
Once a week. And it was your typical, the pizza with.
I know. We could get those because I was in public school at that time, but we didn't get hot lunches very often. Pizza. Oh, yeah, I like those.
That was delicious.
Did you have the fiestadas?
No, we had burritos.
Look like little octagon, like kind of like a taco flavored pizza. It was good. Yeah,
we had burritos. But then if you wanted to spend $1 more, they'd sell you a pudding pop.
Yeah, pudding pops were really good.
I always tried to make sure I had an extra $1 to get that pudding pop.
We rarely got those, but those would be more. My mom would get them sometimes.
Oh, they were delicious. Oh, I know what you miss.
What?
The Schwann's man.
That's still around. I've seen those trucks driving around.
I haven't seen one for years.
Someone was just talking about that somewhere. I can't remember. We were talking about it, and they said, I think we were talking about when my mom would get the Schwann's. We were older. I was at least a teenager when we got Schwann's. But yeah, they had some good ice cream treats. And then someone said that they still see them I have seen a truck before.
Yeah,
in recent times. And I'm like, I don't know who would be buying them. They'd be delivering it, but lucky them, right?
Yeah. Schwann's. So, anyways, our topic today. So, let's go back in history a little bit before we get into today. Because, well, let's start with today. Obviously, you've come to me. It was pretty much the topic of a Pebble that we released on the 4th of just dealing with all the bullshit that's going. The world's on fire, right? Especially
How about
if you
yours? Sorry, that was a song. The world's on fire. Is that the next line? You know what I'm talking about? The song from Shrek. Na 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 na. I'm not gonna hum it.
I don't remember.
The world's on fire. It's sung by Hootie and the Blowfish, I think. Isn't it?
No, it's not Hootie and the Blowfish. You're thinking of All Star by it'll come to me later. I can't think of it now.
Yeah, that's not Hootie and the Blowfish. I know what their voice sounds like. So, whatever.
Anyway, so
sorry, it came in my head. I had to get up
right now. And especially if you're on social media, you're getting pulled one way or the other. Everything's fucking wonderful and things are finally getting in line, or this is the worst thing ever, and you just get caught up in it.
There's a third option. Everything's wonderful because Jesus is coming back. It's going to get really shitty and he's coming back at the end of it. Yeah. Or they're going to be escaping and we're going to be left with a whole lot of hell. Yeah.
And a whole lot of folded clothes on the ground.
Yeah.
But you get in that and it's like, what do we do? Mm-hmm. How do we stop deportation? How do we stop all these executive orders getting pushed out? How do we, everything that's coming out?
How do we stop the madness that's happening to others and hurting people and causing more suffering?
And
it feels overwhelming and it can create a sense of hopelessness. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So you got, all that's going on and you try to figure out what you can do and you're trying to take on this massive issue, albeit by yourself for the most part.
Well, yeah, people would say we're doing it together, which we are. And the parts where you feel like you're in a group doing something together create one feeling. But there are a whole lot of things that you're carrying with you privately all the time. I think a lot of us are doing that. We're not, most of the day, we're not in groups. It's, social, where we're.
And when you start to actually try to affect something, and you put out a video and you get 130 views like I do. It's like, okay, that's really reaching the corners of the earth. Yeah. You say something outside and you're talking into a giant mass.
Even if you have situations where you talk to someone who maybe is caught in the MAGA cult and you say something to them, it just feels like you're beating your head against a wall. Yeah. They're not hearing you. They have preconceived ideas about anybody who thinks like you do, and it's just really difficult.
So let's go back in the Wayback Machine.
Okay.
And we're in the church culture. When something like this happened, what would we do?
Pray.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's pray about it and let God intercede.
Let us pray everywhere. And
this is what I got to deal with. And the problem is that I do it too. And,
what? Sing?
About every time I'll sing a verse in my head 9 times, and the 10th time I'll actually sing it out loud.
Not me. It's the first time it goes in my head.
Yeah.
But you do that on purpose to try to get me to say things, but I don't think you did there.
Not there. The
Christian songs you won't know, but I'll know, and I'll sing them for you. Don't worry.
You will. You'll belt them out for me. But that was our solution, was just, well, let's give it over to God and let Him.
And did that comfort? Absolutely, it did.
Oh, yeah.
It did comfort.
And that truly was burying your head in the sand.
Yes. Yeah.
Just, well, we prayed about it, and now we don't have to worry about it anymore.
Well, yes. And in some cases, it was beneficial to our mental health. In a lot of cases, it was beneficial to mental health. But in some cases, yes, it's burying your head in the sand, but it's burying your head in the sand in areas where you have absolutely no control over a situation.
Yeah.
Like, let's say your loved one is in the hospital and they're on their last, and you're praying and you don't have any control, and to just leave it to somebody bigger or larger than you, even if that's made up, but you believe in it, it does relieve.
Yeah.
It does relieve that. And that's, I think, the positive side of what prayer can do.
But it is positive, but it also creates this dilemma.
What?
Because whoever it may be has cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to pray. And then all of a sudden, that person doesn't recover.
Mm-hmm.
What's your dilemma? You have to figure out why that prayer wasn't answered. Were you in the wrong? Was God not there? So you have these things. Or you just shut it out completely and ignore. No, I did my best.
What I would usually do if things didn't go the way I thought in a prayer, I would.
Which happened more times than not.
Almost all the time, though, when I was had lost something and would pray about finding it, almost always I would find it. It was the one time that I didn't find something that I was looking for that it was early, I was deconstructing. It was beginning to I was like, are you even, I did. I go, are you even real, God? I really did say that out loud. I was like, just, where this stupid thing is. Just show me where it is. How hard is it? And that did start it didn't start it, but I was on the deconstruction journey without knowing it. But sorry, what were you saying, Ann? I lost my train of thought.
The dilemma that it causes because the prayers aren't answered.
Oh, what I would actually do is, God said no this time. There was always there's this catch that they have.
Did you ever ask a question why? Because I remember asking why, which would lead me to either I was in the wrong and I wasn't clean enough to be receiving I wasn't good enough to receive these prayers.
You misunderstood God, that kind of.
Yeah, or I did something that caused it. He was like, no, you were doing this, so you don't get these prayers answered until you get this corrected. Or just he wasn't hearing me.
Interesting. I can't say for sure one way or the other if I asked that question, to be honest. I would just say he just said no, or he says maybe not now. If I asked for something that I needed and I didn't get it, or it would be not now if I didn't get it, or no. And then if I got it, it was him saying yes. So there's just no matter what, that mindset can maneuver around the why.
Yeah. And I do remember some of the teachings too that you'd hear of. Well, it was he has a reason.
Yeah, his ways are higher than our ways. His ways are mysterious.
There was a reason for this, and it's going to all work out for the good.
You'll find out when you're in heaven.
You may not know today.
It's working out for your good.
Yeah.
Yep.
But maybe 5 years down the road, you'll understand why this was the best.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's all powerful and all knowing.
When you're not.
And it's just kicking the can down the street.
Yeah.
Because there's no resolution there. Mm-hmm. It's why didn't you? And we just dealt with this here last fall with a friend of ours that was in an accident. And people that were Christian were praying constantly, and they moved their pinky, Lord have mercy, God be gracious, great and good, and all this stuff. She's recovering, gonna fully recover, and then never did.
No, so and it would have. And the thing is it would have been the quality of life for her.
Yeah,
would have been so harsh. She would have never ever wanted it. Never.
No.
So I am grateful for those who made that very difficult decision, because the pressure was immense to leave her just in this state that would just be, I would not want to stay alive in. I would be let me go. If you're even in the body at that point or aware, I don't know.
So you had to deal with that part of it, of the non-answered prayers, but you had the mental gymnastics you could do would comfort you.
Yeah, you'd have to, because
it would work for all problems.
The cognitive dissonance was so uncomfortable to sit and think, why am I? You just can't sit with that uncomfortable feeling to think that God would allow something like that without reason. You know what I'm saying? It's the religious mindset is extremely adaptable. It will maneuver around things, and it will cause cognitive dissonance, but you will find ways to pacify it with other thoughts.
And it was just this crutch that you're on. So when you enter into the real world and things start going haywire, you get to be older and now you're dealing with politics and all this. If you have that mindset, of course you're going to be skewed, and although it's kind of funny when a Democrat gets elected, it's not God's will.
I know it's never. I've asked that before too. It's never God's will if a Democrat's in it. They're always, they're always. A lot of times they're the Antichrist is what they're called, and then they can't see something that actually looks like an Antichrist right in front of them for some reason. But that's it. That's true. That's never God's will, and it's okay to say that's not my president. But when a Republican is, they insist that a Democrat say that's my president. It's just like, they're your president regardless. If they're the president of the United States and you live there, that's the president. It's the president, not my president. It's just, it is the president.
But it doesn't prepare you for reality.
No.
And what's going on. Because there's so many people now that are just like, well, this is what's happening. This is God's will. Especially now because a Republican that claims to be a Christian is in office. So this is God having his way be done around here, which is bringing on the end.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. Just get we have to get the junk out. And
whoa, this is not that type of podcast, Candy.
Now I can't say the word junk without you saying it.
You can say junk, but you just can't say get the junk out.
Isn't there a place called Junk? Isn't there a junk company called Get? Maybe they don't say get the junk out.
Whip your junk out.
Okay.
So anyways, derailed us there. But it's just this, it doesn't prepare you for life. And it's simple, easy answers to everything. So shit's going wrong, sideways in your life, just pray about it, give it over to God. And the world doesn't work on simple answers. It works on complex issues and how do we as individuals take it on and deal with it. But before we get into that, how about we play a little game?
Okay.
Let me make a spectacle of myself. Dad jokes. Oh, yeah. This one is called Pulpit or Pillow Talk.
Some of these games are kind of lame. So what's the premise?
This isn't lame.
All right. Let's see.
You read a quote. I read a quote.
All right.
Is it something that was said from the pulpit by a preacher?
Okay.
Or in the bedroom? Pillow talk. An innuendo or... Okay.
And the reason I find these games stupid is I don't know if it's true that this pastor said it. And a lot of times the pillow talk is probably going to be something that could sound like it was said from the pulpit. Are these recorded things from the pulpit?
I brought receipts. You can look them up.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll take that.
All right. I feel something rising up inside me.
Okay. It was said in both places. The pulpit.
No, that's actually pillow talk.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That has been said in a church service. Come on. It could have been,
but they didn't have any receipts for it.
Receipts for it. Okay.
I want to go deeper with you. More than I ever have before.
That is said from the pulpit, but it's also been said in the bedroom.
Joyce Meyer. Her sermon on persistent prayer. Keep asking, keep believing. She wants you to go deeper. Deeper than you've ever been.
Oh, God.
I was on my knees all night, crying out.
Dan, these are terrible. Both, but I'm going to say pulpit.
Pulpit? Joyce Meyer.
Joyce Meyer. Oh, wow. She's just...
It was her sermon on keep asking, keep believing. You need to learn to open yourself fully.
Oh, God. I hope that was said in the pulpit, not in the bedroom, because that's kind of like creepy. You need to learn how to open yourself.
What's your answer?
I'm going to say pulpit.
It's pillow talk.
It is. Okay, some guy is saying this too. You need to learn how to open. I'm just hearing it in a very stern tone. You need to learn how to open yourself fully to me, all right?
All right. Next one.
Yes.
Let me lay my hands on you.
Okay. Don't say it like that. And it's creepy. It's very cringy. And I'm going to say pulpit probably.
Any guesses on who?
Benny Hinn.
Very good.
Got it. All right.
Many times said in his services, I've been waiting for this moment all week.
I'm going to say pillow talk.
Very good.
I'm sure it has been said from the pulpit, to be honest. It's at least been thought.
Don't resist what's coming.
Okay.
Just receive it.
Pulpit. Come on now. Don't be saying that to people.
Any guesses on who?
Huh?
Any guesses on who?
Kenneth Copeland.
Kenneth Copeland for the Sermon on the Holy Spirit in 2016.
It was anyways like, blow, COVID-19.
I blow you up.
That was funny.
The power came suddenly, and it overwhelmed me. These
are so cringe if they're said in the bedroom. Dear God. They're cringe right if they're said in the pulpit. I know, but I'm so, like, in the pulpit, I was used to that kind of talk. Like, that is how they would talk. I would say that's pulpit talk, probably.
That is. Heidi Baker, recounting a spiritual experience, Bethel Conference 2011.
Oh, Bethel. Is Heidi Baker related to Jim Baker?
I have no idea. This union is sacred. It's a covenant.
Okay. Pulpit.
Yes. John Piper, Sermon on Marriage and Covenant.
I used to listen to John Piper. Contract. I could see him saying that. He's very...
His kid, Abraham?
Yep.
He's got a good talk.
Abraham Piper, his son, is, really, he's deconstructed. And actually, I think he left the church, then he went back, and then he deconstructed, and he's not gone back. So, but I really like him.
He's a good.
He's very, very smart and, entertaining, too.
I can't move forward until I'm inside.
Oh, God. What? I don't know. That's so cringy either way. So bad. I'm going to go with the pulpit.
It's pillow talk.
What? Okay. I don't even want to. I was going to ask questions, but I'm not going to.
ChatGPT's got some issues.
Your ChatGPT. I think it's kind of personalized.
All right. Here's the next one.
Okay. Don't with the sounds. All right.
Let me do my game.
Dan, stop. It's so cringy. I'm like, I want to roll up in a ball and shrink here. It's so. Don't do it again. We already know. Okay, go past the sound.
Sound. Something shifted when I felt that touch.
Can you stop? You're so nasty. Stop.
I think people just turned off the podcast.
Oh my God, Dan. Yeah, we probably lost all our listeners over it. Okay. Say it without the moan.
Something shifted when I felt that touch.
I'm so grossed out. I don't know. I'm going to say it is pulpit just because for safety, because I'm grossed out. Okay. All right.
I'm learning lines not to say now.
No, do not say that. That is, oh God.
Ooh.
Dan, stop.
It's the last one.
You don't have to say this. Make the sound again. Just keep going. We heard it.
Ooh. The spirit entered me and I lost control.
Okay, that's got to be. That's not pillow talk. That's pulpit. But what did they lose control? What did they do?
Spirit was coming all over the place.
Who is it? Who said this?
Rod Parsley.
Oh, I remember him too. Why did he say he lost control? Oh, when he's
probably
he got in trouble for something
on the floor. And started dancing.
Don't be making fun of it. Remember what happened to me when I made fun of somebody? What my dad said. You just mocked the Holy Spirit.
I did. So I guess me and you are going the same place. But yes, remember that one? It was There was some sermon or something. The guy was like, "Oh, I'm going to be coming all over you. Open up and receive it."
Probably was Rod Parsley, actually.
It was one of these preachers. He's going to be coming all over you. Open up and receive it.
I don't know if they...
Open up.
If they grew up in evangelical Christianity or that type, they probably don't know those phrases and stuff because we're very sexually repressed. So we don't hear the innuendos. We don't.
The preachers know these phrases.
You think so?
They're not the ones sexually oppressed. They're experiencing some things.
Well, they are sexually oppressed, and so that's coming out in perversion, and they are perverting it and preying on people. Yeah. So, children and women.
Children and women.
And men.
And men.
Yeah, everybody.
So
they're walking predators.
Was that game lame?
No, it was kind of funny. Except for the sound effects. I would prefer not to hear them. Yeah. What the hell's wrong with you? Stop. No more.
That's not the first time I heard that. So back to our topic du jour. So we're talking about the past already. We had the answers for everything, right? Mm-hmm. It was pretty simple. It was easy believism. Just let it go, let God, pray for it. Jesus is my co-pilot. Mm-hmm. In case of rapture, this vehicle be unmanned.
We know somebody who has that on there.
So you have all these things out there, and it just made you check out.
Yeah, and you used to think things like, what would happen if a pilot... They were flying along and the pilot was a Christian. He just disappeared. All those people, babies and everything, are just going to plummet to their death and it's going to kill people that it lands on and everything. Like the devastation it will cause.
Well, they're not believers, so it doesn't matter.
Apparently they didn't care. Like all the cars that were being driven by Christians are just going to crash into people.
So we always had answers to everything, right? We had certainty. And I saw something today where I think I sent it to you too, was that in life, once you have certainty and religion gives you certainty, then you stop learning because there's nothing else to learn. It's going to challenge that certainty. And when people around you are learning, that's awful and that's evil because that's challenging your certainty.
Yeah.
Which you have.
And how boring. I remember that. And I think it's just because I don't know. I think everybody's kind of naturally curious. I think that is part of being human, or not even just human. Animals are curious, like it's just maybe part of consciousness. I don't know. But I remember being in Christianity and being like, it's boring. I just thought life was really boring. Yeah. To be honest, and everything was already figured out. And I was like, it's all figured out. It's all figured out. Like, I don't need to explore how the earth was made. It was just told to me.
Yeah. And this is what leads to this checking out of reality.
Yeah.
Is because you have all the answers. God is the answer. I mean, it's like in Sunday school, when our kids were in there and they were asked a question and it was like, Jesus, that's always the answer, right?
That was always the joke. Yeah.
So you always have that answer. God. It's God's will. And God knows more. God knows what's best.
And then that just, whenever you say that or someone says it to you, it's very dismissive. It's just a way of, I don't want to think about it, so you don't think about it, you know? And does it feel better for a little bit? Yeah, it feels better for a little bit. But anybody who's like really, that's when deconstruction kind of will get to you when you just can't shut that off.
Especially serious things like we talked about earlier, someone gets cancer, you
lose a loved one. A lot of times that starts people's deconstruction. Yeah.
My mom's got cancer and, she's really young. And the pastor's like, it's God's will. He's got a purpose for this. Or she's always
been serving God her whole life and then this happens to her, and we're
God's
praying.
will. That's his purpose.
Yeah.
That kind of, some people just take it because they're completely, indulged in the Kool-Aid.
Or they're just completely so
that doesn't sit right with me.
They're so devastated. They're grieving.
Yeah.
And it's comforting to think someone is with her, like God, right? Yeah. That will be with her as she crosses over or whatever, goes to heaven. And because they're worried about what she's experiencing.
Yeah.
And that brings them comfort. And I understand that. I understand that religion can bring comfort in those times, but it can also bring up a lot of questions as you begin to work through the grieving process, and you should be allowed to ask those questions and explore them.
But you get dismissive responses in them questions.
Or
so you
even
never really get answers.
No.
You just get...
And they all have these, there are memorized answers that are passed. Like if one, that's why like if you'll notice, like one of these lead pastors, like let's say Kenneth Copeland, but probably not even him in our, because I was in that Word of Faith, that prosperity gospel, like my dad was in that, but we also went to a school that hated those guys.
Yeah.
So I was hearing like both sides, which was very strange. And then we got real fundamentalist, got to a real fundamentalist church for a while.
Yeah.
And what those head pastors will say, the answer that they come up with to these questions that are like, these are real questions that people are wrestling with, right? They will come up with these answers and then they'll pass it down, or someone will hear on a video like, oh, that's how they answer that. And then they'll go around and they'll just use that as a quick answer for everything. And it's not a satisfying answer, but it's supposed to satisfy for a minute, and it does sometimes.
So here's the problem we wrestle with today. So we don't have that easy answer anymore. We don't go with, just pray about it. Just like God, it's God's will.
Yeah.
So where does that leave us?
I mean, well, the options are, one, we get involved in politics like crazy, and we try to get laws changed, and we fight every chance that we physically spend all of our physical moments that we can fighting what we perceive as an enemy, right? Someone who's harming our world or whatever, harming others. We could do that. I have a desire to stand up for those who are being persecuted, for sure. I don't have a desire to get involved in politics in that way. I know politics there's a lot of areas, but that's not there's actually it's kind of opened up. There's a lot of options we have now, right? We can do nothing. We could just ignore it and act like nothing's happening and our world is perfectly fine. That is an option that some people will choose. We can go back to the church system. We could choose to fight it. I have my own method. I don't know if you've seen my TikTok that I just put out today. Did you see it?
Not yet.
It's weird because you brought up this subject, but it's something that I'm going to experiment with and try myself. Yeah, really, because I was kind of like, did he watch my video yet? But apparently you didn't. And this actually is a synchronous moment.
Look at that, folks. Married for 28 years almost, and we're thinking the same.
Do you want to hear what my experiment is?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to try. I basically have been playing with this for a few months, and I've talked to you about it. In the last week or so, it's gotten a little more. And then today, this idea came to me. I am tired of feeling sick and tired. I'm tired of, when I was a Christian, I was constantly looking for Jesus to come and rescue us because the world was so bad all the time. We were told it was terrible. Yeah. It was always so evil. And you're praying, but you're also hoping for Jesus to return, right? Get us out of here. Get my kids out of here before they accidentally don't believe and they go to hell, or, it's just terrible. There's bad people everywhere.
Coming on the clouds.
There literally is a cricket chirping. I hear it. But
tying it into the game.
I know you are, but it was like there was a literal cricket making its little chirpy noise. But now you threw off my train of thought. Okay, so I'm just tired of it because now I feel like, and my life was on hold. My life has been on hold my entire life. I have not been able to have a dream and pursue it. Mm-hmm. And now we're plunged back into what's the future look like? I can't dream because I'm scared of what the future looks like. I'm scared for my children. I'm nervous about them dreaming and chasing dreams because it's we don't know what's happening here, right? There's a lot of unknowns, and it's always unknown. The future is always unknown. That's just the way it is on this planet. Mm-hmm. You're just not going to know what the future is. So I've just decided, I've been kind of playing around with the Abraham Hicks and the, mm-hmm. and if you don't know what those are, it's just basically Abraham Hicks is a channel. And I know some people, I know. I was like, ugh, because in Christianity, you're kind of taught nobody channels, but channeling is really just like inspiration coming from somewhere, right? And I feel like we all kind of channel sometimes. But basically, it's Esther Hicks, and she started meditating regularly, and her husband and her were doing this together. He's been passed now, but he started asking questions, or she just started talking, and she didn't know where it was coming from because she kind of get in a hypnotic trance, and then she'd come out of it and she didn't really know what she was saying. There's a lot of people that have had these channeling, situations, but Abraham Hicks now is what the channel is that speaks through Esther, right? And someone recommended a book to me a long time ago, and I read it, and it's called Ask and It Shall Be Given, and it kind of resonated with me, and I really was like, okay, and I kind of listened to it, and I was kind of playing around with it like a science experiment, and that was around when I had I've talked on the podcast where I had that white horse, story where I prayed for a sign of a white horse, and literally the sign of a white horse showed up. And so anyways, I'm listening. I've listened to like Joe Dispenza and Wayne Dyer, and all these people are talking about like your emotions kind of are guides, and you need to listen to your emotions. You don't let your emotions like lead you, but you listen to them. They kind of tell you what vibration you're in. And if you want to get into a different vibration, you've got to begin to shift them using your conscious mind, using your thoughts, and you kind of shift it into a new direction, because a lot of our suffering, I know for me, for sure, a lot of my suffering comes from what I'm thinking about, what am I putting my attention on. So I want to intentionally shift it. So my plan is for the next year right now. I mean, that's a long time for me, but I'm going to focus on like just putting in my mind things that bring me peace or, possibility and hope, those kinds of things. And it can sound like I'm putting my head in the sand, which I'm not going to do. I'm still going to know what's going on politically. I'm going to avoid all the opinion pieces, though. I'm going to avoid the TikToks where people are saying this is what's going to happen. They try to predict the future. That is where, like, I can handle debates where people are just straight talking facts, especially like political debate. Like, I like those, like Dean and Harry and Parker. I don't know if anybody knows those people, but they're liberals that debate conservatives. And I find those, I can listen to them without my emotions getting all out of whack. But when I just doom scroll and I listen, and I get more on the left side, it's very negative, negative, negative. And if you get more on the right side, there's some negative, negative. And the Christian world, yeah, it's like Jesus coming back, blah, blah, blah. That's scary too, right? Or it doesn't scary. It's almost, to me, that it's just like, I don't want to be in Christian TikTok, to be honest. And then if you go on like MAGA TikTok or whatever, they think everything's going to be great at some point, which sometimes I'm like, it feels better here to pretend, right, that everything's going so great. You can emotionally feel the difference, but it's not necessarily based in truth. And my goal is not to be listening to things that aren't based in truth, but like just drawing myself toward things that are more positive and kind of brainwashing, if I can use that term, to kind of see if I can feel better, not because I want to like neglect anybody else, but because I want to show up for the world in the most healthy way I can. If I'm not healthy, like this stuff is literally making me sick. Like I'm struggling to move forward in life. I'm not able to function very well because of all the doom and gloom. And I'm done with it. And what was keeping me from practicing this or trying it, because I've always intended to treat it as a science experiment to see if it works. What was keeping me from it was reading comments or listening to people say, oh, that's terrible. It's selfish. It's, you're just going to put your head in the sand. You don't want to, it's your privilege. And I was listening to a podcast today where they were talking about this type of like Abraham Hicks and stuff. And they were coming up with the arguments against it. And one of them was that it would be like, it's your privilege that you can even do that, right? And these were, it was two women, and they were people of color. And they said, okay, privilege is just, you have less obstacles in front of you. Everybody has some obstacles, right? That they've got to go through to get to the goals that they have. Privilege is having less obstacles. So do I have some less obstacles because of my skin color? Yeah, I do. Not a ton more, but I mean, that is one that I haven't had to run through that obstacle of my skin color preventing me from getting something. So it's a privilege to be able to focus on that which is making me emotionally healthier, but it's empowering. And I would say that to anybody, even if you're in the most dire situation. How can you direct yourself to at least relieve your suffering a little bit? It's empowering. So I don't see really a downside to doing this. And I'm not going to let people, just their opinions, dissuade me from trying something. I'm experimenting, and I am free to experiment. So that's one of the things we could do now, is figure out something that will help. I think as I heal myself, it will help me. It will show up in my relationship with you, with the kids, and then with those outside of the family, right?
Yep.
So that's my goal. I'm doing it for myself, but not just myself. I think it will help the collective if I heal.
So you kind of overviewed the whole conclusion. And
were you going to go that direction?
Well, it was, the points all tie into it, because we're looking at this. We had simple answers beforehand, and now we have reality. Yeah. And we don't have the simple answers anymore. And that's actually kind of scary, but it's honest, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to figure it out. You have to figure out
you have to figure it out for you. And it reality. Might not, what is helpful to the collective that you do might be different than what I do.
Yeah. And like you were saying in your experiment, the just pure, what we're taking in all day long is overwhelming anymore. We're just overstimulated with information. And some of it's correct, some of it's misinformation. And you got to constantly filter that and sort through it and figure out what's right. And that takes energy and it takes effort. And you're just inundated with all this stuff coming in. You can't avoid it. I mean, you turn around and you put your phone down, but then someone's going to talk to you about it. Or you go and log onto your email to check your work stuff, and yet all this other stuff that pops up, it's impossible to avoid on a day-to-day basis.
That's definitely true. You've got to learn how to respond to it.
Which isn't practical for a lot of people because they're part of the system.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with it all the time, and simple prayers and simple just give it over to God, it's not going to work. You got to deal with it. But it is extremely overwhelming because you got the weight of the world literally on your shoulders. How am I going to take care of this dumpster fire that's going on? So like you were saying in your experiment, you kind of got to focus on what you can control, because simply you're working on healing yourself. You're starting where you should start. And this is, I think, the advice we probably should put out. And I think we've seen it work when we've applied it in our lives.
I mean, I've tried this a few times and it does help.
Yeah.
But I've never tried it for for a full year. I've tried it off and on, and I've lost sight of it and then come back to it. You know what I'm saying? I've found myself in really low places, and then I go try this again, and it does begin to shift things for me. And it doesn't mean, rainbows and butterflies. It means inwardly, my life is the inner life is calm and can handle the things that are being,
Excellent point. Because, beforehand, I mean, we weren't given tools for this in the faith. We were given good vibes and verses.
we were given a tool, and it was just prayer.
Yeah. Just pray for it. Here's a verse. Say this one over and over again. And it was to distract you and dismiss you.
And some people would say, like, people use that, I'll pray for you, as just to dismiss you. And that is true.
Yeah.
But I also was one of those people that if I said I was going to pray for you, like, I would not say it unless I was literally going to pray for you. So I would quietly say a prayer for them.
But even then, it's still kind of dismissive.
It was dismissive, but it was like
in reality. But in the reality,
but some people were.
But in that Christian reality, you thought that was powerful.
Yes, because I genuinely thought there was a God listening on the other end that was going to do something about it.
Which I think is an interesting way to look at it too. So when you're dealing with someone of the faith, and they say, "I'm going to pray for you," and if they really mean it, they're doing what they know.
They honestly think that's the best thing they can do.
They're doing with their tools. So you can appreciate that for what it is.
Yeah.
Not take it off as a dismissive thing.
And that's one way to just shift your vibration right there. Instead of when someone says it, not everybody who says, I'm sending thoughts and prayers is just dismissing you. Some people just like, I have no idea what to say, so I'm going to say I'm praying for you.
You tell the family you're struggling with finances right now. So the little 4-year-old goes and opens up the piggy bank and gives you $1.45 and says, here's this help. Is this going to save us?
They're looking for what they can do.
They're doing what they can do with what they have.
Or they'll just maybe come up and if you're crying, and I don't know if anybody's ever had that where you're having some breakdown or something and you're sitting on the couch and you're just got your face in your hands and your elbows on your knees, and a little kid comes up and they just kind of like rub your leg or your arm. Mom, you okay? And they're doing what they can, and
with the tools that they have.
Especially if you're not up close and physical, you can't get to the person physically. Let's say they live across the country and, and you don't know them super well, but you want to let them know you're thinking of them.
Yeah.
Would I say that phrase? No, because of how charged it is, but you have one side using it sometimes genuinely, sometimes disingenuinely. And then you have another side that says anytime anybody uses it, they're just being dismissive and they're pieces of shit for using it. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a lot of people in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, let's learn how to be in the middle a lot more often.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's all about compassion and understanding and grace.
Yeah. And each situation is different.
You're doing what you can. You're doing what you know. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worthless, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
It's great. And you just keep that. I think it's worthless to yourself.
Yeah. Because otherwise, if someone genuinely feels like that's probably not the time to like try to push somebody into deconstruction or something, because that's not usually how somebody will even go into deconstruction.
No.
So you're just being mean back. You're just being a dick and hurting them because you hurt, which is understandable, but try not to do that.
People hurt people.
Yeah.
So we're obviously overwhelmed, and I know I can speak to it. I know you can speak to this overwhelming feeling, just weighed down with all this burden.
Mm-hmm.
So what can we do? Where do we go? And I think you're addressing this because you're looking at one, healing yourself. You can't fix anything in the world. And we've talked about this over and over again on this. You can't love others. You can't help others. You can't do anything for others until you fix yourself.
And you've got to love yourself first, because if nobody else loves you in the world, you got to love yourself. It's got to start there. You have to make sure you're loved. So you're working from it's overflowing out of you, the love, rather than you have a empty cup and you're trying to love others. You can't do that. You have to love out of overflow, because you've got so much love for yourself, which flows out onto others, because you will naturally love others when you love yourself, because you'll realize how connected you are. So yes, I think that's one thing, is start there before you, like if I start, let's say I start, I mean, there's so many things you can do. And yes, I do some of the things. I do try to limit who I buy from. I try to take that into consideration.
Another thing is looking at your habits and what you can change.
And those are the things you can do. But you're still going to get judged either way. If you, do one thing against one side, you know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. You can't live your way trying to please these people and please these people. You got to stop with that, because we come out of a religion that we were constantly trying to please those that were in power, and they were telling us what to think. And now it's easy, understanding how the subconscious works. We're trained, we're very suggestible to leadership and authority, to flip to the other side, who they may know some things. And then they're like, this is how you need to behave. And if you don't, you're out of our team.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of in this trying to please them. And you just swapped out one religion for another that's just not called a religion, but it is. It's got the same kind of mindset.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to.
You got to give yourself grace and permissions in that too, because there's all these things with don't shop at, this store, don't go to Walmart anymore. Don't go to Target. Don't use Amazon. Well, there's some people that this is all I can afford is Walmart.
Mm-hmm. Or they don't have a car and they live right next to a Walmart or a Target. And so you're going to judge people that walk in there as supporting, it's silly. We've got to stop doing this.
You got to give yourself graces. If you can do it, then
And you want to do it.
Yeah. And you want to do it, then do it.
Yeah.
But you got to look at yourself and not worry about other people and what they're doing. You're changing it from a single person. You're the one
You can make little changes if that's what you want to do.
You're the
make
pebble
the little
that's
changes.
creating the wave.
Yeah.
And you hope that it grows over time.
And it will. It will ripple out.
So
it will, but if you start to enforce if you find somebody who starts to enforce that you have to, if you care about people, you won't shop at this store. Mm-hmm. If anybody starts doing that, they're just creating their own system that you're going to have to abide by.
Yeah.
Just ignore that stuff. We have to learn that's the stuff I'm talking about that I'm shutting out.
Yeah.
I'm shutting out these just opinions. I'm going to do my own research when I can, and I'm going to live life. I'm going to reconnect to my own life without hearing all these opinions all the time.
And that kind of ties into two other things you can work on. Just your relationships that you're in and boundaries.
Yeah.
Setting that up because like you're saying here, the relationships, if you have people in your life that are constantly judging you because you're still going to Walmart or Target or whatever, and they're constantly...
Or if you feel like you have to hide, that you need to go there, but you're hiding it.
Yeah.
That's because you're living under somebody else's
because they're constantly judging you and keeping you under their thumb of, I can't believe you did that. You just supported this cause.
Yeah.
And now you're just as guilty as anyone else.
Well, it's like...
the
video, I don't know if I showed it to you, where that girl, and did I mention it on the podcast? Did I mention it where she's standing up and yelling at her parents, her progressive parents? Her progressive parents are invited somebody over for the 4th of July that's MAGA. And so she stands up in this window with a megaphone and hollers at them and saying, I just want to tell everybody that my parents, she's recording herself on TikTok, and that my parents, progressive parents, invited someone over who supports, 47, and they, all this stuff. And people are cheering them on in the comments. And I was just like, there was a few of us that were like, hey, first of all, we have to get up close to one another. People are saying if you invite them to something, then you are just as guilty of what's going on. That is not true. We need some of us that are strong enough to get up close and have the conversations. I'm not saying everybody should do that. If you do not feel mentally or emotionally prepared to do that, do not do it. You're not in a state to do that. And I can't do that with all of them. But there are some people in the family that do support him.
Yeah.
And they support what's happening. And I can get up to a certain distance, or I can talk to them. I keep them as friends on social media so that I can have conversations or hear what they're saying, because I think if we just shut them out, that's exactly what in Christianity, you shut everybody out and you stay in your little bubble and you get more and more toxic. Yeah. So how is that any different?
Yeah. Division doesn't cure anything.
It's not curing it.
We got to be busy building bridges, not blowing them up.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you're agreeing. It means you are actually creating a safe space for them to be honest, so you can see what they honestly think, and you can have an opportunity to have a real conversation so they can see that you're also not a demon because they're taught that. It's just we have to be able to get up close to each other and have these conversations.
So and that all starts off with stuff we're saying here on what to do now. It's really working on yourself and just what you can do, the healing, the habits, the relationships, boundaries, working on that. And you're focused on you're not focused on trying to cure the whole world.
Yes. And you're not focused on creating a formula of how you heal. Yeah. You figure out how you heal, and it's going to be different from how they heal and he heals and she heals. And, it's different. We don't need to create formulas on how to do it. We just need to do it.
That's what you can actually control in this world is how you take care of yourself. You can't control what's going on in the world. You can't control what's going on in the internet. You can't control your toxic cousin that's still a youth pastor. Yeah. All these things are out of your control. You can keep
your kids away from them.
Yeah. This is all out of your control. Yeah. I can't affect anyone else and how they live. I mean, I can by living by a certain example, but I can't physically go over and say, you're done. This is how you're acting now.
Yeah.
Life just doesn't work that way. So work on what you can't control, which is everything that's in your circle and bubble.
And that actually can really go against what those in power are trying to do. Those in power are trying to control you. But if you realize you have a lot more control inside of you and you feel it, these words are meant to empower you, not to say, sometimes even with the Abraham Hicks, people be like, oh, so you're blaming people like for how their lives are the way they are, like they've gotten themselves in a situation and it's their fault. That's somebody who doesn't understand the message. The message is not like, hey, you get blamed for everything that's happened. There's a lot of people making decisions that are affecting one another, right? The point is that it's to empower you. You have more power than you realize within you. And if you can learn how to control that power by paying attention to intentionally putting your mind on certain things, putting your attention in certain places, instead of focusing on how terrible it is, we've got to shift our attention to what is going right. What do we see? Where do we find solutions? Where do we find, sometimes there's people gathering and communities being formed that are very similar in what you would want in a church, but they're authentic and they're real. And they're not having to pretend to be somebody else. And they're not having to worship some imaginary creature. You know what I'm saying? They are genuinely loving each other and supporting each other. And people are maybe volunteering more and stuff. I don't know. It's pushing us in directions that are new. And I think there's a lot of good.
Different things.
In spite of what's happening. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all about focusing on what you can. It's bringing that perspective down.
Yeah.
And you're going to start bringing it down to you.
Yeah. You're not meant to carry the whole world or the whole countries or the whole cities. Or
on you and putting you back together, and then that can carry out to your small group. And honestly, for the most of your life, it's probably never going to get more than a small fraction of people around you that you're affecting.
But that's fraction, and they all have somebody that's their circle. Let me tell you,
if you get 3 people underneath you and affect them, then they can affect 3 people.
Then they can get 3 people more, and then you're kind of by by proximity, you're helping them, and then I mean, that is a pyramid scheme I could get behind, honestly, because it's not bottom. What is it called when the bottom basically supports the top?
Yeah.
It's actually just flowing centrally out, and you're not getting back. You're not taking from them. You're giving. So very different. Yeah.
So to kind of wrap this one up, I think we actually did something where we talked about the future in our life. Pat yourself on the back, Candace. But real growth is quiet. It's survival.
And it requires patience.
Yeah, it's survival. It's doing the small things, drinking the right amount of water in a day,
getting the sleep that you need.
Getting the sleep you need,
moving your body,
going to therapy.
Therapy, paying attention, like I said, to the doom scrolling. Like, I know it's tempting, but for me, it's very tempting to get on and just like there's this FOMO, and recognizing that and not giving into it.
Allow yourself to say no.
Yeah,
you don't have to help out on everything. I mean, how many times have you come up to me or I've come up to you and been like, oh, there's a protest, or there's this going on this week, or we need to jump on this cause? Sometimes you just don't have the time, and you just got to say, because all we've done is substituted this stuff for what we were doing in our church life. Yeah. Because we were going to service on Sunday. We were going to youth groups on Wednesday. We were going to small groups on Sunday nights, and a men's group on Tuesdays and a women's group on Thursdays, and cleaning. Now we're doing the same thing again.
We still have that savior complex. We were trying to save the world through sharing Jesus, and now we're trying to save the world by all our actions to, push back against. It's just we need to pause for a minute and think. And
you got to have the Broncos mentality.
What's that?
Serve yourself and save.
Broncos. I was thinking of the football team, but you're talking about the restaurant. Yes.
Yeah, the hamburger joint.
I've never been there, so.
But yeah, all you're doing is substituting different things in for the same thing. You're living the same lifestyle, and it's not going to work. It's small. It's just working inside your own group and pushing out that energy.
But that growth will show up. You'll be able to look back a year or 2 later and be like, wow, I did so much without really... You know what I'm saying? If you allow yourself to grow and you just allow it, you stop resisting just the natural parts. Like, you don't have to try to control the growth. It will happen as you kind of first of all, take some deep breaths and just kind of get your ground yourself before you're going out to rescue. In a lot of ways, I think that white people can think they're just the saviors of like rescuing, like all these people of color need us to rescue them. Do we need to help one another? Yes. But we need to, more than anything, find the power inside ourselves and tell others that they've got power inside themselves. Not tell them how to find it or how to do it, but like tell them it's there.
But what, as a white person, can you do with someone of color? Just show them they're equal with you.
Yeah. Because they are. Treat them like with the same respect you would anybody else. Yeah.
And that will speak volumes in the world.
When they're up close and personal with people that are different than you, treat them as you would want to be treated. Isn't that the golden rule? Do unto others as they would do unto you. I mean, that's really what we need to be doing. And
people will start seeing the benefits of this. They're like, well, that's working out great for them.
Yeah.
We're trying to deport all these people, but these people are actually accepting them and taking them in and listening to them and treating them as an equal, and they're thriving.
Yeah. And when something in my plan over this next year, if something in my close vicinity happens, like somebody is treating somebody unjustly, I plan to stand up. I plan to speak up. I plan to do something when it's right there in front of me. That's an opportunity.
So kind of in conclusion here, you don't need to save the world. You can't.
You can't. Stop. That's a savior complex. Stop it.
You just need to show up for your world.
Yeah. First show up for you.
Yeah.
And then show up for those that are right next to your life you're going to touch that day.
Show up for your world. The people in your spaces that matter. And that will have a profound effect on everyone around you. I mean, we trash on the church all the time, but look what Jesus did. He just showed up for the people around him. Mm-hmm. And
he would just make little comments here and there. Yeah. He pushed back against the people that were oppressing others. He said things to them. He called them vipers and whitewashed tombs and full of dead man's bones and stuff like that. He wasn't putting his head in the sand. And when he was up close, he said words. He had words, but he wasn't going to be the one that took down a whole system while he was living.
No, he just showed up for the area he was in.
Yeah.
So if you can concentrate on that, I think life would get so much easier. The overwhelming aspect of everything would leave, and you're just focusing on stuff that...
And maybe you could find joy again.
You can actually do.
Yeah.
You can't stop executive orders, but you can stop the enforcement of them on people around you and help out where you can with that.
You can call if you can. Yeah. You can call your
so it's just talking about
representatives if you want.
You can do in your little circle of influence.
And that's all you can do, and stop stressing.
Yeah.
And if you want more ways to do it, just be open to those coming to you if that's what you want.
And that does include, maybe going to a protest.
If that's your desire, but also don't go to a protest because you feel like I will be I'm a bad citizen or I don't love people. That is not what tells whether you love. What tells whether you love is if it's right in front of you, are you going to stand up for that person? Mm-hmm. Are you going to, and they're being persecuted, are you going to stand up for them where you can? Yes. So just don't go into another system of rules. Is what I'm saying. Don't come out of one and go, it is so common to just drop into another. We've done it several times. Like I've done it several times.
That's what caused this whole problem that we were in.
It's almost enticing. Because
we did it.
Yeah.
We just did it for something else. We substituted something else in.
Well, and I saw, to kind of just end this, like naked pastor that was on here.
We got to put a bullet in this dog. It's getting.
Okay. But he did a picture today, which another synchronicity. He did a picture that he had just painted, and I just saw it today. It may have come out a few days ago, and he turned it around, and it was two cliffs, people standing on, one person standing over here, and then a group of people over here, and he's talking about how standing alone, because you're not going to conform, like it's almost enticing to conform, to just be like everybody else, because there's so much pressure to do that, but that you'll lose yourself in it, and that is exactly what I was feeling myself as I'm doom scrolling and I'm reading all these comments of, the opinions of everybody telling me what to do, what to think. It's just, I'm losing myself and it's creating confusion.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to like stop the noise so that I can start to think for myself. And that's what I think we should do.
Yep. I love it. So
all right.
Go to dannycan.com. Check out everything related to us right now. Leave us a message. Tell us what you think of these last, what is this, the fourth new one?
I don't know, third or fourth.
I think this is the fourth new one. So, yeah, what do you think of the format? We're starting to button it up a little bit, getting it flowing a little bit. That first one was kind of chunky, just like me. So, Pastor Pillow Talk, that one was chunky.
Another cringe. You just pillowcased this. Pillow Talk with Dan is cringe at the beginning and cringe at the end. He's just going to pillow you in between those two.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
You're just making up random shit.
It's a pillow sandwich.
Okay.
Of Dan's cringe.
DannyCan.com. Everything Candy's doing with hypnotherapy and all that, check that out there. And all her,
Substack. Would be nice if you'd subscribe. Yes.
Subscribe to that. She's got a couple other ideas she's going to be working on here too. So
yeah, working on writing some letters to past loved ones that would never read it.
Yeah. If you want some interpersonal stuff and if you want some tea that's been spilled, that'll be coming up soon. Yeah. We'll make an announcement when that gets posted. So,
well, it's coming out this week. So it already came out by the time this airs.
So check it out.
Yeah.
You want to reveal the series title?
Well, it's called Return to Sender.
Return to Sender.
It's letters written to specific people. And
so
there's probably a couple out by the time this comes out.
Also, very important, hit us up for 5 stars. We'd appreciate it greatly. Give us that. That's one thing you could do in your little circle to help spread joy and peace in the world. 5 stars. And I've been reprimanded not to make any more less than 5-star comments because it's being rude and demeaning.
Is it? For
disrespectful?
Me?
You say every time, you're like, shut up.
I do. I don't like it. You can't have
these people doing this.
I don't like you telling people like how they have to vote.
So if you give me 5 stars, then I won't have to say anything about 4 stars.
No, you're just manipulating it to a new thing. No. You rate us how you think we would really prefer a 5, for sure.
If you're watching us on the tube of you, hit that subscribe, smash that like. We'd appreciate it greatly. So, in closing here, just remember, we don't have the answers, but at least we're not pretending to be anymore. And just go out and be you. Be a human, not a hero. Be curious. You've done human, enough.
Be you. Yes. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.